Traveling leaves you speechless and then turns you into a storyteller. Traveling gives you a home in 1,000 strange places. If you guys have always dreamed of traveling, I want to let you know that it's actually easier than you think. What's up guys? So for today's video, I want to talk all about how you can afford to travel. And I don't know if you guys can hear the beeping and honking in the background. That is because I'm currently in Bali, as you guys know, and have been watching the vlogs. So I have been traveling almost full time for a few years now. So I definitely have some tips and tricks for ways that you guys can also afford to travel. I've also teamed up with TurboTax for this video to talk about a really easy way to get a big check in the mail this year, and that is filing your taxes. And I know taxes can seem really complicated and confusing, and a lot of other Canadians actually feel the same way. Fun fact, a quarter of people would actually retake their driver's test if it meant getting out of doing their taxes this year. But what a lot of people don't realize is it can actually be really easy and straightforward, and also free to file. So this year I'm actually going to be using TurboTax Free, which provides accurate step-by-step guidance to maximize your refund, because with a bigger tax return this year, that means you can go on that trip that you have always wanted, like the Philippines, like Thailand. The average refund in Canada last year was around $1,200, which for some people can actually be their biggest check of the year, and that is also a round-trip flight to Thailand. What's really great as well is they do have a help panel, and the TurboTax Answer Exchange gives you access to easy to understand answers from the TurboTax experts and other contributors, so you can be confident that your taxes are being done right. The best part of it all is it is done online, so you can literally do it from anywhere, even this coffee shop in Bali. To make it even simpler, they have an autofill my return feature, and so basically I just downloaded my tax info from last year, and it was just a couple steps, and then all of my info was imported right into my return. It's honestly really easy, and you can file your taxes for no cost, totally free, no matter what your salary is. My next suggestion for ways you can afford to travel is to sell your old clothes. So there are a ton of websites and apps that allow you to do it really easily now. It doesn't just have to be with people you're friends with. You can actually just sell it to random strangers on the internet, which sounds kind of sketchy. But nowadays, with all the technology, it's actually really easy to do. Another suggestion that you can do is actually just have a yard sale with your friends, or maybe like a flea market type thing. It's a really great way to make quick cash and also clear up room in your closet, because guys, it's spring now, or it's spring now, I think. And spring cleaning is a thing, so it's gonna give you more room in your closet and get you more cash in your pocket to save up for your next trip. The next idea is to start a YouTube channel. And I know YouTube has that new annoying rule where you need like 4,000 hours or something before you can start making AdSense money. But honestly, just start putting out content, start working towards that. It does sometimes take a while to build it up, but it is totally worth it. Also too, when you're traveling, you might want to vlog. So it's actually really good to kind of start building up those hours and getting like it to whatever the threshold YouTube has put on there now. Okay, so the next suggestion is not necessarily making money, but it is saving money. And that is not always going out for food. Myself as a food lover, I do really enjoy going for morning coffee and that kind of thing. But if you guys actually do the math on it, of how much you can save if you don't get a coffee every single day, you'd be very surprised by the numbers. And then just take that amount and put it into your savings fund. The next idea is to offer freelance services. So one of the things, if you have a camera, you could offer photography services or putting together little videos or that kind of thing. Just use your strengths to your advantage. Or if you're good at makeup, you could offer some makeup services during prom season. Don't do any freelance services for things you're not necessarily skilled in. But for me, for example, I obviously do a lot of photos and videos, and so I could actually go to companies and say, hey, if you ever need any photo work of, like, say a store or a restaurant or that kind of thing, for example. A lot of companies do have marketing departments that do that, but if it was a bit of a smaller business, like say it was just like a bread store down the street and you want to put together a cool little video for them or do some photos, you can always approach them and just ask, because you never know until you ask. And even if you don't have the skills for a certain thing yet that you want to do freelance services for, it doesn't mean that you can't learn. The next idea to make money is to offer to clean your parents' house or car. Because they love you, you never know, they might pay you above minimum wage. It's worth a shot, you may as well ask them. The next idea is to sign up for a promotional or an event company. And what's really great about this is usually it's on a case-by-case basis. You sign up, they ask you if you're free like the day before. You basically just stand there all day, hand out samples, depending what the company is. It's pretty easy and straightforward work, and usually at the end of the day you get paid in cash. The next idea, and is something that I had actually done for years and years, is to do background work. It's totally free to sign up. Most cities have it, unless you you live in somewhere that there's like zero filming work, but you'd be surprised, a lot of cities do have movies and TVs being filmed in them from one time or another. I know Vancouver, because obviously that's where I'm from, has a ton of filming work, and so you can actually work full-time as a background extra. And what's really great about it as well is you kind of create your own schedule. So continuing on the quick paying jobs train and how I actually afforded my 8-month backpacking trip when I first traveled is serving. And I was a server for about 4 years. It was my university job. I basically served every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night all of university. I didn't really go out that much, but I was able to save quite a bit of money in a short period of time. And then I had about 2 months from when I graduated to when I was going to be backpacking, and so I worked full-time as a server, made a ton of money in those months, and way more than if I was just working a regular minimum wage job with no tip. Finding a job where there is tips is the key. The next idea is, if you are crafty, to make things and sell it online, such as jewelry or clothes. You can also sell it at a craft fair. Alright guys, so those are all of my suggestions and tips and tricks for how you can afford to save for your next trip. And honestly, traveling is so much fun, and it's actually a lot more affordable than most people realize, especially if you're doing somewhere like Southeast Asia. If you guys haven't been watching my vlogs, definitely make sure to check them out while I've been in Bali, because I've been talking about a lot of prices for everything, and if you guys have seen those, you realize that it actually, even in a place like Bali, is super cheap to eat and find accommodation. And huge thank you to TurboTax for partnering with me on this video, and be sure to click the link below to check out the TurboTax website for yourself, and also file your taxes this year, because it is a really easy way to possibly get a big check in the mail, which could actually buy your next flight to wherever you want to go. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.